And so in your posture, going through your setup, making sure that you've put aside anything that might draw your attention. So phone on silent or do not disturb, putting aside anything that might make noise or distract you. And then checking in with the body as you find the sense of alignment, the sense of stability that will allow you to be both relaxed and alert. And so the theme of the practice today is do nothing. And I'll introduce that specific technique of do nothing in the second half. In the first half, we're actually going to do something. We're going to stabilize attention. So sometimes this is known as samadhi, collecting the mind. Sometimes we might refer to practices of shamatha, calm abiding. And basically what we want to do here is to allow the body to relax, allow the mind to settle, and incline the mind towards stability. Being able to rest with our chosen meditation object, to be able to stay with an intention. Now, for many of you, you will know practices that do this, focusing on the breath, body scans, maybe metta practice, mindfulness practice will help do this in many different ways. I'm going to guide us through a few ways that we can settle in, and then I'm going to give instructions for focusing on the breath. But the actual object doesn't matter too much, as long as it's something that you can pay attention to over time, and something that's somewhat neutral. It doesn't change too much when you pay attention to it. There's enough interest, but not too much. So it might be a sensation in the body, a sound. And body sensations in particular are generally pretty stable. There will always be some sensation of breath. There will always be some sensation of sitting, or some sensation in the hands, and so on. And so as we make our way to this stable attention, I invite you here to take a few slightly deeper breaths. Slightly deeper, slightly longer. Allowing the breath to fill the belly. Or at least that might be what it feels like. The belly moves out as the breath comes in. Filling the bottom of the lungs, the middle of the lungs, the top of the lungs. And then letting all the air out. Now, for stabilizing attention, it's really helpful to pick one focus scope, one meditation object. So this could be the breath at the belly, the rise and fall of the abdomen. It could be the breath at the nose, the sensations at the edges of the nostrils or over the upper lip. As I mentioned, it could also be sounds, the feeling in the hands, the feeling of sitting. So pick one meditation object, and we're going to focus on that for the next 10 minutes. And when I say focus, what I mean is to choose to place your attention on those sensations. Notice what that feels like right now in that chosen area. And this is an intention, a decision that you can make to bring those sensations into the foreground. Now, you might not have control over whether those sensations stay there. You might notice a distraction, or the mind moves to a different sensation, a thought. No problem. When you notice, just appreciate that moment of awareness, and then once again decide to bring your attention to your meditation object. When there is a moment of choice, deciding to pay attention, to notice those sensations, and then just waiting and seeing what happens. Then when there's another moment of awareness, noticing those sensations, maybe coming back, returning. And as you do this, allow the body to settle. Allow the mind to settle. We are borrowing the stability of those sensations, resting the mind on the constancy of those sensations. at some point you might notice that attention is kind of split between your meditation object and something else. A thought, a feeling, a sensation. You might feel like they're both there, present, at the same time. Or you might notice that attention moves back and forward. And if you notice this, that's good awareness. And from here, simply decide to bring attention back to your meditation object. If you can, just drop the distraction. Drop any intention to stay with the distraction. And then that distraction will either stay or it will go. Either is fine. Just deciding to bring attention back to your meditation object. Good. And so now we move into the second half. And so if what you're doing there feels good, feels like the right level of practice, the right type of practice for you today, you can stay with that, no problem. If you'd like to move into do nothing, you'd like to try this out, explore, follow these instructions. So we want to make sure that we maintain the posture. So keep sitting, or whatever posture you're in, maintain stillness and quiet to the best of your ability. Now the instructions are very simple, quite short. Or at least they sound simple. There's a bit of subtlety involved. The first is let whatever happens, happen. And the second instruction is whenever you're aware of an intention to control your attention, drop that intention. So now we are letting go of our meditation object. We're letting go of any time we notice that we have an intention, that we're trying to do something, we're trying to control something, even trying to direct attention, even trying to be mindful. And so the idea here is to actually just drop all that. Do nothing. Let whatever happens, happen. Drop all intention. Now, if you notice that your attention goes to something and maybe even stays with it, and you feel like you can't drop that, that's totally fine. If you can't drop it, that means it's not fully under your control. Just let that happen. Sit back, observe what the mind does without conscious intention, without doing. And so this practice is not really so focused on outcome or result. Whatever happens, happens. However, if you find that it feels not helpful or just not right for you today, that's no problem to go back to something more intentional. Stabilising your attention, choosing where to place your attention. And so what we're doing with the do nothing practice is dropping the intention to control attention. Dropping the need to control. You may find that certain things just arise on their own without you doing them. Thoughts might arise. Your attention might be drawn to sounds or body sensations. There may be a train of thought or mind wandering. There may also be clarity, brightness, spaciousness. Notice what arises when you aren't controlling.